At a lively party at my husband's family home, filled with laughter and chatter, my mother-in-law looked at us and said, "You two are like the housekeeping team." Her playful remark caught everyone's attention, igniting a wave of laughter. It made me think about how my husband and I balance love and responsibilities, creating our own unique rhythm in life together. I lived with my husband's parents because he asked me to. Even before I moved in, I had a strange feeling. However, since we began living together, every day has felt like hell. Can't younger people do this? There is no point in arguing. Proper education is impossible in a single-parent household. After all, that is true. I was just doing housework, cleaning, laundry, and meal preparation on my own. However, it appeared that they were also mocking my mother, and my patience was wearing thin at the time. I must have looked at my in-laws with vehement hatred. Realizing this, my mother-in-law approached me and slapped my cheek without saying anything. "What are you doing now? This is for your education. Since you married Matteo, you've been practically our possession. So it is only natural." "What is natural about this? It's only violence. Please stop hitting your face. It will raise unnecessary suspicions." "Will it? That's fine. We could say she fell down the stairs or something." I knew things were bad, but this was alarming. "Why are you staring off into space?" "Oh, this is nothing. Enough. Let's go out to dinner today. You can handle the cleanup." To make matters worse, Matteo was away on business, so I couldn't call for help right away, even if he couldn't come immediately. I wanted to share this with Matteo. "What is wrong? This is about your mother and father. Has something happened?" "I was slapped a moment ago." "Slapped?" "It was more like she hit my cheek." "I see." He didn't seem surprised. He listened objectively, as if it were only gossip. "That is it. For the time being, all I can tell you is not to defy those two. That is the situation. Sorry, but I am tired. So, please wait." He hung up. My head was spinning. Was Matteo also on his mother's side? I considered relying solely on my own mother, but I didn't want to burden her with unnecessary concerns. I knew she was busy. What shall I do? I had no choice but to obey my in-laws' demands. It happened one day like that. "We're hosting a party at home soon. So why not invite your mom? It's an excellent opportunity." "A party?" "Yes. There will be a large number of relatives present, and the atmosphere will be more lively." "Right. I'll ask my mom." I immediately contacted my mother. "It's unusual of you to reach out. So, what's happening?" "There is a party here next Sunday. They asked if you would come." "I see." A brief silence ensued. "It's a perfect opportunity. Let's go." "A perfect opportunity. You'll figure it out soon enough." "Okay." So my mother and I ended up attending the party at my in-laws' house on the morning of the event. By the way, will Matteo be back? "Oh, he's busy and will be unable to return. We got a message. I did not have. Hello, what are you doing there? Everyone will be arriving shortly." "I understand." Relatives began arriving in the early morning. Meeting so many new people made me nervous, especially since I was entertaining them. My mother-in-law said something. "When will your mother arrive?" "She said she'd be here shortly. We're busy. She needs to arrive quickly. Sorry." 15 minutes later, my mother arrived. "I apologize for being late." "Do not worry about it." Her smile at that point was unsettling. More relatives arrived, and the living room became crowded. As the flow settled, we were about to take a break. "You must be tired too. Let's take some time to rest." "Yes." My mother stopped me as I was about to enter the living room. "What is wrong? I have something I need to talk to you about." She began talking about our in-laws. "What? What do you mean? You know I'm the CEO, right? Every day I receive a variety of information, including this." I hadn't expected Matteo to be involved, but after hearing my mother explain, it all made sense. "Okay, both of you, it's work time." "Work? Did you believe you were guests? You two are domestic workers. Now cook and serve." Hearing those words, even my usually mild-mannered mother had a stern expression. Then she muttered, "Let us leave." I know what to do next. Yes, the atmosphere here is unpleasant. Ignore the surprised relatives with wide eyes. My mother and I left the in-laws' house. Although this was technically my home, I didn't care. When I heard my mother's story, my resolve was crystal clear. Revenge against my in-laws and Matteo's liberation. My name is Violet. Currently, I am a full-time housewife who supports my family. I live with Mateo and my mother, but the path to this point has been fraught with twists and turns, lost in thought. Yeah. Thinking about something from the past? What about the past? Yes, about those two. Looking back, I sometimes recall specific moments. It all began with meeting my husband, Mateo. Before getting married, I worked as an office clerk for a small company. I had no clear goals and was simply drifting through life. This feeling began when my father died of cancer. Throughout my middle school years, my father used to run a business, but my mother has since taken over. Honestly, I felt quite lonely. "What time will you get home today?" "I apologize. I believe I'll be late again. There is food in the refrigerator. Warm it up and eat dinner." "Understood." Of course. I knew my mother was doing her best for me, but I tried my hardest not to bother her without specific goals. I continued to drift. I attended high school and college in close proximity to my home. Perhaps this explains my lack of interest in relationships, even after beginning work. During this time, I met Mateo, a salesperson, through a mutual acquaintance. "Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well." The acquaintance spoke. "This is Violet. She's a little reserved." "So, Mateo, make sure you keep her entertained?" Mateo asked. "Is this so?" I responded. "Don't say unnecessary things, regardless of the awkwardness." Mateo's efforts to make me feel at ease were endearing. "What do you usually do, Violet?" "I'm an indoor person who enjoys playing games, reading books, and watching movies at home." "I am the same. Any recommendations? What kind of stuff do you like?" We chatted and got along well, and before we knew it, the mutual acquaintance had left. After exchanging contact information, we became close and started spending more time together. Despite being an introvert, I started going out more often because of Mateo's invitations. It seemed to have a positive impact on me. As colleagues at work noticed, I became more cheerful. About 2 months after meeting, we started dating. I was invited to Mateo's family home. "Is this Mateo's family home? Does something seem off?" "No, I just thought it looked impressive. I've lived here for almost 20 years. Meeting a boyfriend's parents was new to me, so I was nervous throughout. When I asked about his parents, it turned out they ran a small construction business as a family. Mateo hoped to one day succeed his parents. On the other hand, I felt envious because I lacked such specific goals. Mateo's hardworking nature, like that of my mother, drew me in, and my desire to support him grew stronger. Feel free to return. Thank you for today." Our relationship progressed smoothly, and by the time I turned 27, we were both seriously considering marriage. Then, just 1 week before my birthday, something unexpected occurred. "I want to marry you. I'll make sure we're all happy. I'm thrilled. Thank you. And I am looking forward to it." We decided to apply for marriage registration on my birthday. My mother listened to the news of my marriage with a pleasant expression on her face. However, there was one issue: Mateo's parents. When I visited my in-laws, my father-in-law wasted no time in asking me a question after greetings. "Violet, is your family a single-parent household?" "Yes, that is correct. What do you do for work?" "I work as an office clerk." Then my father-in-law said something outrageous. "Anyone can complete such an easy task. Why not consider making a career change?" Hey, that's not the best way to put it, is it? I'm just stating the facts. However, my mother-in-law went even further with hurtful words. "You should not say things like that, dear. I thought my mother-in-law might be on my side. Why do young people seem so useless?" He sighed deeply, in stark contrast to his demeanor during our previous visit. But that was not all. Now my mother has become a target. Single mothers are usually good people. Mateo stepped up to defend me. "Is that going too far? What are you saying back to us?" It is not communicating back. Violet and her mother work hard every day. On top of that, you two have spent a lot of time at home lately, caught off guard. The two of them exchanged surprised looks. My father-in-law sighed again. "Do you really think this way? If you do not accept us, I will not inherit the company, and we won't return to this house." They both appeared flustered and unsettled. Despite not being warmly welcomed by my in-laws, our feelings about marriage remained unchanged. I had a faint hope that our relationship with them would gradually improve after marriage. Unfortunately, their attitude toward me remained unchanged. If anything, things got worse in the end. Mateo's firm words that day allowed us to move forward with the marriage. However, my in-laws could not keep quiet. They started coming over more frequently, and it appeared that they had even obtained a spare key from Mateo. I had returned from work to find my mother-in-law sitting comfortably on the sofa. "Are you here again? What type of tone is that? Are we not permitted to visit?" "I did not mean it that way. If that isn't your intention, that's okay." "Obviously, it's not okay." I wanted to say it directly, but I held my tongue to avoid causing unnecessary trouble, living in such a lovely setting. You should be thankful to Mateo, too, clearly. My mother-in-law did not view me as an equal. Otherwise, she wouldn't have come here just to say that and leave. And now that she's got a taste for it, my mother-in-law has roped my father-in-law into her antics. One day, "Wait, where is the ornament that was here? I believe a friend gave it to us." "Yes, but it couldn't have vanished so suddenly. Could it be you two?" "Okay, maybe. Actually, it is quite possible." Mateo quickly made a phone call and put it on speaker so that I could hear it as well. "What do you want?" "I have a question. Do you recall the slightly larger ornament that was in our living room? It is manufactured overseas. I have no idea. What exactly are you talking about? It is missing from our location. You aren't saying it's my fault, are you? Who else is present? Only to have free access to our house, correct? Why would I do anything like that? Perhaps it was stolen or something." Mateo smirked and looked at me. "Okay, then I'll call the police. Whoever stole it will most likely be arrested. Thank you for your advice. Bye." Right as he was about to hang up, something unexpected occurred. Wait a moment. What? It was not me. Your father said it looked expensive." "What?" I tried to remain silent but couldn't. So whatever happened to it, I sold it. I was too shocked to speak. "Okay then. Hey." This time she hung up the phone. Unbelievable. I never expected it to get this far. "We will probably be targeted again. Let us change the locks immediately. I feel terrible. I just handed them the key. I'm truly sorry. No, it is not solely your fault." We quickly changed the locks after making a phone call. Later, my in-laws came to visit us and returned the stolen ornament. "We are truly sorry. Please forgive us. Never do something like this again. We should have reported it to the police. We have learned our lesson." She left with her head bowed. I secretly thought, serves you right, when I noticed her expression. They will not cause any further trouble. Now. Well, let us hope so. Unfortunately, my worst fears came true while working as usual. Mateo called me. My parents were taken to a hospital. What? I don't have all of the details yet, but it appears they were in an accident. I told my boss about the situation and rushed to the hospital. Mateo was already present when I arrived. "How are your parents doing?" "Well, it is complicated, despite being involved in an accident." His expression appeared more exasperated than concerned. "Are they all right?" "Not exactly. When we arrived at the emergency center, they appeared to be in good spirits for being accident victims." "Oh, you arrived. Are you okay? You were in an accident, correct?" "We got hit." However, I was beginning to lose track of what was true. In the end, they had no serious injuries and were allowed to return home immediately. However, the doctor warned them that sudden pain could still occur. We made trouble, didn't we? Well, it is true. We were involved in an accident. At the very least, we will receive a favorable settlement. I had something I wanted to purchase anyway. I couldn't help but question their true motivations. I couldn't be certain because I wasn't present at the accident scene. However, my suspicions appear to be valid. And then, a week later, Mateo says something unbelievable. I apologize, but I don't quite understand. It appears that neither of us are feeling well, and they have asked if you could live with us. So that means living together, correct? Yeah, that is just... Mateo sincerely apologized for the sudden request. Seeing him like that, I can't bring myself to refuse. Understood. Preparations for quick progress. Just 1 week later, I start living with my in-laws. Despite Mateo's request, I can't say I really want this cohabitation. It makes me anxious. Thank you for coming. We sincerely appreciate it. I am counting on you. The first day goes well, but Mateo will then train at an acquaintance's company as our successor. Training? Yes, Mateo is an important child for us. What about Mateo? He has already left. What? From now on, let us be a happy family of 3. At that point, I realized I couldn't leave. In reality, my position in this house is at a low. I feel like a housekeeper. My life is almost completely restricted. I have to contribute my earnings to cover living expenses, and I can't spend money recklessly. I'm hesitant to tell my mother, but I feel like my heart will stop if I keep going like this. I called her. "Violet, how are you doing?" "I'm okay. Do not hold back. You do not need to worry about me. Did you believe I was too busy to contact you?" My mother sees through me. There is so much going on. I had not even mentioned cohabitation. Actually, I'm living with Mateo's parents. Mateo is away, saying he is in training. Training? What is that? I tell her everything. By the way, Mateo's parents were business owners, correct? Yes. I will look into the company. When will Mateo be back? Even if I asked. I do not know. They won't give me specifics about the location. That's problematic. But talking like this makes me feel a little better. I should have contacted you sooner. I'm glad we could speak. However, don't push yourself too hard. If anything happens, please call me at any time. Thank you. So I hang up the phone and gather my strength. And just then, my mother-in-law appears. "What are you doing now?" "Ah, nothing. There is still more for you to do. Start moving. Dealing with one mother-in-law is manageable, but now my father-in-law has joined in. I am done. Thank you. You're free now." I take a short break and receive a call from my father-in-law. "Are you free now? I'm taking a small break." "Then go shopping for me. What should I buy? Give me the cookies. I like, but you prefer the ones from that shop." "Yes, the ones in that location right now." "What? Do you have an issue with that?" "No." "Then go grab them. Hurry up or you'll be sleeping outside tonight. Get ready. These people are unrelenting." The shop is quite far away, and it's already after 12 o'clock. If I don't hurry, it will close. I take trains exhausted, and by the time I get to the shop, I am completely exhausted. I somehow buy what my father-in-law wants and then return it. I won't have an hour here. When I get back to my in-laws' house, they are both gone, and the door is locked. Unable to enter the house, my in-laws returned about 2 hours later. "What are you doing outside?" "Okay, the door was locked. Never mind. Get in." As I entered the living room, the scene appeared oddly set up, as if I was about to be scolded. "So, did you buy everything we asked for?" "Oh yes, here it is." I opened the bag I'd brought, but their faces darkened. "This is not it. But this is the one you like, right? Honestly, you can't do it." My mother-in-law sighed. From then on, enduring their daily mistreatment was my only option. I avoided expressing my feelings or arguing with them, but it didn't matter. They persisted regardless. "Can't you be faster? I apologize. I'll get it ready right away." By now, all I could do was follow their orders without question. Today's youth are incapable of handling such situations. You should say something to them. It is pointless. A child from a single-parent household cannot receive a proper education. True, I was simply doing household chores. Cleaning, laundry, and meal preparation fell entirely on my shoulders. But even my mother was ridiculed. My patience was wearing thin at that point. I must have resented my in-laws. My mother-in-law noticed and approached me, slapping my cheek without speaking. "What are you doing now? This is part of your education. You've basically become our property since you married Mateo, so it is only natural. Enough of the face slapping. We do not want any unnecessary suspicions. Do not worry, dear. Simply say she fell down the stairs. I'd sensed trouble before, but this went beyond that. Why are you staring off into space?" "Nothing. Never mind. Let's eat out tonight. You can handle the cleanup." To make matters worse, Mateo was on a business trip, so I couldn't call for help, even if he wasn't available right away. I wanted to share this with Mateo. "What is wrong? This is about your mother and father. Has something happened? I got slapped just now." "Slapped?" "Technically, she hit my cheek." "I see." His reaction lacked surprise. He listened objectively, almost detached. "So that's it? For now, just do not defy them, that is my advice. Sorry, but I am tired. Later. Please wait." He hung up. My head was spinning. Is Mateo siding with my in-laws? I considered contacting my only blood relative, my mother, but I knew she was busy and I didn't want to burden her. What shall I do? I had no choice but to comply with my in-laws' demands. Then one day, we'll have a party at home. Soon. Invite your mother. It is a good opportunity. A party? Yes, many relatives will arrive. Will it be more lively with your mother? I'll ask my mom. I immediately contacted my mother. You rarely call. What up? There's a party here next Sunday, and they asked if you could come. I see. A brief silence ensued. There's a good chance. Let's go. A good chance. You will understand soon enough. Okay. So my mother and I decided to attend the party at my in-laws' house. And in the morning of the party day, I wonder if Mateo will return. Oh, he's busy and will be unable to return. We got a message. I do not have. Hello, what are you doing there? Everyone should be arriving shortly. I understand. Relatives begin arriving in the morning. Meeting so many new people makes me nervous, especially since I'm hosting them. My mother-in-law says something. When will your mother arrive? She said she'd be here shortly. We're busy. She needs to arrive quickly. I apologize. 15 minutes later, my mother arrives. I apologize for being late. Do not worry about it. Her smile at that point is the most unsettling aspect. Relatives continue to arrive, and the living room fills up as the crowd settles. I try to take a break. Mom must be tired too. Let us rest. Yes. As I move toward the living room, my mother stops me. What is wrong? There is something I would like to discuss. My mother starts talking about our in-laws. What? What do you mean? You are aware that I am the company's president, correct? So I get a variety of information every day. And this, I didn't expect Mateo to be involved. But after hearing my mother's explanation, everything makes sense. Okay, both of you. It is time for work. What work? What were your thoughts? Today was simply a social visit. You and your mother are like housekeepers. Come on, prepare and serve food, hearing this. Even my usually gentle mother has a stern expression. Then my mother murmurs something. Let's leave. I know what to do next. Yes. The atmosphere here is unpleasant. Ignore their surprised expressions. My mother and I leave our in-laws' house. Even though it is technically my home, I don't care. When my mother told me her story, I decided to take revenge on my in-laws while also liberating Mateo. We took immediate action upon returning to my parents' house. As it turned out, my in-laws' construction company was already in debt. Who knew they were in so much debt? And despite this, why do you believe they were fine until now? I do not understand. We discussed Mateo earlier, right? He's being forced to work off his debt, isn't he? Exactly. But they continue to borrow. In other words, Mateo will be their slave for life. That is awful. What do we do? That is not a problem. At the time, I didn't fully understand what my mother was saying. However, it became clear when my in-laws arrived 3 days later. What have you done? You arrived. Please tell me what you did. My mother began slowly explaining what she had done. My in-laws' creditors turned out to be quite dangerous, operating a construction business while exploiting illegal immigrants. My mother discovered this and used the information to get Mateo back. No way. I'm sorry, but you'll have to handle the debt yourself. Then the intercom rang. Mateo and my father-in-law were standing at the entrance. Mateo, I apologize for the trouble. It's no problem. Thus, the entire family was reunited. Mateo, it's useless. We just received a call. We have to repay immediately. We don't have that much money here. I offered a suggestion. Why don't any of you take Mateo's place? The in-laws looked at one another. Then go, dear. Why me? Because I can't work. What exactly are you talking about? That was your accident. Your mother planned the accident in order to get settlement money. The accident turned out to be their undoing. Truly despicable. Save the fight for when you arrive home. What? It's all because... Can you afford to relax right now? Indeed. We need to concentrate on getting through today first. Father-in-law stood up and departed. Mother-in-law appeared stunned, followed him out. The hard part begins now. Thank you very much. No, I just want you both to be happy together. Thank you. Mom, we finally had a relaxing and enjoyable time together. I wonder what happens to those two. Since then, my in-laws have decided to declare bankruptcy. They had to give up their home and now live in a dilapidated hut. Mateo, who quit his hellish job, now works for my mother's company, where he diligently supports her. My in-laws forced him to give up sales and work in the mountains. Mateo is well suited for this type of work. Indeed. Recently, he appears to be very active. He used to be at their mercy, but now he's okay. Make sure to encourage him. Well, I will. Matteo quickly adapted to the company because of his seriousness and cheerfulness. Within a few months, there was even talk of a promotion. I was proud of Matteo and decided to continue supporting him. Matteo, you are amazing. Really? I wish I had noticed your struggle sooner. This is all in the past. Now I'm so satisfied that I've forgotten about it. It's all thanks to you as well. That is not true. They always thank me. I support them in the background, allowing them to focus on their work. That's enough from me with them. I am confident that my life will go well.